What happens when the only witness to a shocking disappearance vanishes without a trace? Get ready to unravel a mystery that has a small town on edge in this gripping two-part series. Have you ever wondered what happens when the only person who knows the truth disappears? In the quiet town of Willow Creek, a place where doors were rarely locked and secrets seemed like strangers, a beloved young woman vanished without a trace. And just when the police thought they were getting close to the truth, so did someone else. Because the only witness who could solve the case vanished too. This isn't just a mystery. It's a chilling tale of trust broken, voices silenced, and a town that would never be the same. Willow Creek was the kind of place people wrote postcards about: lush green trees, front porch swings, and a community that knew each other's birthdays. But behind every perfect picture lies a darker frame. Emily Carter, 27, was the heart of Willow Creek, a volunteer nurse, Sunday school teacher, and aspiring artist. Emily's warm spirit and wide smile lit up the town. Everyone knew her, everyone trusted her, and when she disappeared on June 3rd, everything changed. She was last seen leaving the Willow Creek Community Center after a late evening shift. Her car was found in the lot, keys still in the ignition, her phone dead, her purse still inside. But Emily was gone. The town's silence was louder than ever. The initial hours after her disappearance were filled with panic, flyers, and prayers. But soon, the whispers started. People remembered a man strange, quiet, not from around here, who'd been hanging around the community center that week. He introduced himself as Mark, claimed he was new to town, looking for work. But there was something off about him. Security footage from a nearby bakery showed Emily walking to her car, and Mark following her from a distance. He never made contact on camera, but 48 hours later, both Emily and Mark were missing. Police issued an alert, and then a twist. A local named Jenna Monroe, 22, came forward, nervous, pale, and shaking. She claimed she saw Mark that night arguing with Emily in the parking lot. She heard a scream, but was too afraid to approach. She didn't come forward sooner out of fear. She said she thought she might be next. Jenna's statement was a breakthrough. Investigators pressed her for more. She agreed to testify, give an official statement, and even helped create a composite sketch. And then Jenna disappeared. Jenna's car was found 2 towns over, engine still warm. Inside, her shoes, her purse, her phone with the last message still open. I think I'm being followed. CCTV cameras showed nothing. No one saw her leave. It was like she vanished into thin air. The police were now dealing with not one, but 2 missing women and the same suspect linked to both. But who was Mark? As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered Mark's real identity. Marcus Holden, a drifter with a history of violent behavior, including a prior assault in another state. He had changed his name, moved around constantly, and left a trail of sealed juvenile records and dropped charges. A deeper search revealed he had been in a domestic relationship in the past, one that ended with the woman going missing. No charges were filed. No body was ever found. Marcus had slipped through the cracks for years. Now, it looked like he was slipping through Willow Creek too. The deeper the detectives dug, the darker the truth became. Emily had helped out at a women's shelter in the neighboring county 2 years prior. There, she reportedly tried to help a woman named Lila Marcus Holden's ex-girlfriend escape his abuse. Emily had testified anonymously in a custody hearing involving Lila and Marcus. Lila vanished weeks later. No charges were filed, but someone hadn't forgotten. Police theorized Marcus had recognized Emily in town, possibly by coincidence. Possibly through stalking. He may have moved to Willow Creek for one reason only: revenge. But what about Jenna? That's where the story took an even darker turn. Jenna, it turned out, was more than just a passerby. She had been texting with Marcus, who had introduced himself online under a different name. They had gone on to dates. She ended things when she felt something off. The night Emily disappeared, Jenna saw Marcus not just with Emily, but trying to stop her from leaving. Jenna had information that could convict him, and Marcus knew it. Weeks turned into months. The town lived in fear. Emily's family held vigils. Jenna's parents made emotional pleas on TV. Leads dried up. Hope seemed gone, until a break came from an unlikely source. Marcus had used a stolen ID to rent a cabin 60 miles away. A routine traffic stop, he ran a stop sign, led to a name check, and his arrest. He was brought in for questioning. What followed was chilling. Under pressure, Marcus confessed, but only in fragments. He admitted to confronting Emily, blaming her for ruining his life. He said things got out of hand. He refused to say where her body was. When asked about Jenna, he smirked and said, "I warned her not to talk." The town held its breath. But then Miracle Dot, in a rural storage unit registered under another alias, police found Jenna alive. She had been drugged, tied up, and left in a soundproof room Marcus had rented months in advance. He had planned her disappearance. With chilling precision, Jenna was rescued just in time. Malnourished but alive, unfortunately. Emily wasn't as lucky. A week later, police found remains buried deep in the forest near the original crime scene. Dental records confirmed it was her. The courtroom was silent as Marcus Holden was found guilty on all counts: kidnapping, attempted murder, and the murder of Emily Carter. The judge called it one of the most calculated acts of evil this court has ever seen. He was sentenced to life without parole. Emily's mother sobbed. Jenna, sitting in the front row, held her hand tightly. Justice had been served, but the wounds would take time to heal. Willow Creek wasn't the same. It never would be. But slowly, the town came back to life. A memorial garden was planted in Emily's honor behind the community center where she once taught children. And Jenna, she became an advocate for victim support, speaking publicly about her trauma and survival.